all righty. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling all right. A beautiful fall afternoon over here in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Man, I mean, it's nice to get away from the constant heat and humidity, and actually experience a little bit of a fall season out here, as I did in Seattle 2 weeks ago. So, aside from that, the game was absolutely atrocious, but the
Yeah.
Dolphins escaped with a win. But nice weather out here.
Well, you know what? At least, brother, it was super ugly. There's a lot of things we can pick from it that we can't be happy with. But I will say for them, they needed this victory badly because even when they get to a back starting against the Arizona game, they're going to need to be almost perfect. And if you would have at least won a few more games here, you would have made life a little easier. But they don't have a lot of room for error when he comes back, and it's the toughest stretch of the season.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I've been writing just how pivotal this stretch is. Even if you don't have Tua Tagovailoa in this stretch, but I mean, I was looking at if you get to like 2-4, or I mean, we were even on the verge of thinking of a potential 1-5 had they not gotten this one, and then after the bye playing at Indianapolis without Tua, then I mean, you're already packing it up. That's because then you face your tougher half in the second half of the schedule, and but if we already know this team's record against winning teams when they're at full strength, it would have been really tough. But squeak one out here in New England. It's a win is a win, so they needed it however they could get it, like you said. So they did get this one. 2-3 is way better than 1-4 for this team. 1-4, you're already kind of counting them out. And then now on the other side of the bye, if they could get to 3-3 by the time Tua comes back, then that's huge. 3-3 would be a huge victory for this team with where it stood.
The shame is you should be 3-2 or 4-1 right now.
Yeah,
that's
of
the
course.
real shame. If you had a really good coach and not one that's terrible on game day and can't prepare his team, and again today was a team that was unprepared, and why Danny Crossman has a job, dude, would have fired his ass 2 years ago. It is beyond me. Do you know it? Does he have naked pictures? Did he catch somebody at Diddy's party or something? What's going on? How is Danny Crossman still here, bro?
We joke about this too, us beat writers. Just what does this guy have on him that no move has ever made? I mean, we had the questions the last 2 off seasons. Then this one, when we finally got to ask him about it at the combine, and Danny Crossman was retained, and he said, the results haven't been what we expected, but that he believes he is the right man to fix it. But still, Big O, we see this now. It's another year of it, and I mean, huge special teams mishaps, and I mean, boy, then maybe now they're going to say, well, the special teams recovered in the second half, and some of those field goals were so critical. But I mean, it's just you shouldn't have the mistakes that you're seeing. Now, Blake Ferguson, I talked to him in the locker room, and he just owned up. It was just on him that he rolled that snap on the field goal back to Jake Bailey, just tossed him a ground ball, and he just owned up to that's just his own sole mistake. But still happening on Crossman's unit, a block punt again. I mean, the same guy, Brendan Schooler, that's the same player on the Patriots that blocked the field goal against you last year. That Sunday night football game in the same stadium. You learned nothing from this. You couldn't watch tape, game plan against. I'm no special teams guru, but I mean, I imagine you can find some things in order to get that corrected. So another one there, and then and obviously Sanders hit the upright on one of his field goal attempts, the one that he missed. So costly special teams errors. Austin Jackson had a false start on the one where there was a bad snap, so it brought you back 5 yards too. So you can go on and on. I mean, Mike McDaniel said post game he was asked how he would assess the special teams unit, and he said very critically. We'll see what that means now that this team does have a bye week, and sometimes big changes could come out of a bye week. For the Dolphins, it comes kind of early, so I don't know if it would actually lead to change.
I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, how long does that guy get? How many chances does he get to screw up? Because he has screwed up a lot. The one thing I will say, and it was fun to see them stick to the run, and win basically on that drive that you actually stuck to the run, which is something that you need to make it more of a habit. But the one knock I would have, is that, and I give him, and I'll give McDaniel a little credit that today he simplified things, ran more and all that, and he used Jonnu Smith, and that helps your quarterback. I would like to see more runs by Huntley. I would like to see some stuff where it's actually, designed for him to take advantage. That way, I think that opens up the running game for your running backs too. Because all of a sudden, if one of your backers has to worry about the quarterback running, that kind of holds people. It freezes them a little bit. It opens things up for others. And so that's the one knock that I would have. You have an athletic quarterback, use his athleticism a little bit. He's not a passer, bro. I mean, he proves that all the time. He's not a passer.
Yeah, and it's funny. You don't think of Mike McDaniel's offense or much of Kyle Shanahan, which he comes from in San Francisco, as utilizing a mobile quarterback like that. I mean, they drafted Trey Lance, and then that didn't work out. But Mike McDaniel does go back to the RG3 days with Washington. He was an assistant on that staff. So, I mean, dust off some of that old stuff. Dust off some of that playbook and see what you can get. I mean, it's one more game, presumably, with Tyler Huntley at quarterback. So why not utilize that athleticism? But I mean, I have no complaints on the run game. This game,
no,
obviously,
today, the run game was terrific.
Exactly.
Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I would have a few less passes and a few more runs for Huntley instead. Like today, he was 18 of 31. Kind of. I don't need him to throw 31 times. You know what I'm saying?
In a game like this, yeah.
I'm keeping him maybe in the 20-25 range, and instead I'm going to give him 5 runs that I think are going to really improve my offense, because I think he can pick up a 7 or 10 yarder every once in a while for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just think that I would have liked to have used him. Hell, in my book, I would have used him Boyle. I would have mixed it up and have Boyle using him a little bit for passing, use Huntley running and a little passing. Because the one play where he was running and it stopped prior to the line of scrimmage and completed to Tyreek in the middle of the field. Do you remember that play? That's not a design thing. That's just something that happened. Kind of sandlocked him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know if I would go into bringing quarterbacks in and out. I also have bad memories of my freshman year at UM of Randy Shannon doing that with Robert Marv and Ja'Cory Harris. And that wasn't working well until finally Marv had an injury and Harris was the guy.
Wait a minute. There's no rhythm for Huntley. He's not a passer. So
yeah, but there's rhythm in orchestrating the offense.
Yeah, but God. I guess because of the cadence and everything changing from one guy to another. They're not organized with one quarterback. If you got to alternate, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Well, but again, that's because the coach sucks. If the coach was a good coach, this wouldn't be an issue either.
You're always going to go back to that.
For sure. Look, the penalties, mistakes, it's constant. Mike McDaniel is as unorganized a head coach as we've ever seen on the sidelines for the Miami Dolphins. And I've seen a lot of football for the Miami Dolphins. He is one of the most unorganized coaches I have ever seen in my life, dude.
Yeah. Overall, this game still had all those traits of the ugliness, the sloppiness. Tyler Huntley improved in his orchestration of the offense, the organization of it on a short week. So going from Monday night to starting a Sunday afternoon. So I will give them credit that with one less day, and it's really like 1.5 fewer days to get him ready than they did to a further extent. So I will give him credit for that. Tyreek Hill, I was talking to him in the locker room, and he even said that Huntley was over communicating with a lot of clarity. So it seems like they really got him in a more comfortable spot, which is on both. It's on Huntley to learn it and obtain that information, having an extra week going from week 2 to week 3, start 1 to start 2. But also, I mean, coaches deserve some semblance of credit. I know it's still a little bit ugly, or maybe a lot ugly at times, but still, there was an improvement in that regard. So I wouldn't go over the top either.
Oh, what do we know? Any injuries outside of HN with the concussion? You see anything else in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, Achan will be in concussion protocol, obviously, but Javon Holland left this game, and he was seen with a club or cast, something over his hand that he left injured with. So now we'll await more updates on what the next steps are. He was ruled out with that injury, so obviously something he couldn't play through.
Is that his punching hand?
I mean, maybe he's ambidextrous or amphibious, whichever one of them. Obviously, but ambidextrous. But I mean,
Boy,
yeah,
he's a Dolphin.
or could he play with that
He
club?
is a
Could he play
Dolphin.
with that club and help him punch those out? You know,
Yeah.
yeah, we've seen that too. But I mean, it might be kind of burdensome to run on that thing if he needs to. At least he has an extra week to deal with that. I was trying to see if I could.
Baby. Plaster caster, baby. Yeah.
And Kendall Fuller exited the game, and then he was able to return. So they never, I don't believe they ever announced an injury for him. Where if he needed some more time, they probably would have had to say he's questionable to return with whatever it is. So I don't think we ever found out. I was trying to get him.
Fuller was the one with the knee, right?
Yeah, where he got
he put a shoulder in the tackle, but
right.
And people thought it was a shoulder. It wasn't a shoulder. If you look, it was his leverage had his leg in the back, and because of the hit, and then you saw him on the sidelines, and he was hopping and all that. Then you're not hopping for your shoulder, bro. You're hopping because you're testing your knee if it's responding and the ligament and all that. But you could tell it was like maybe a minor hyperextension or some shit like that. But you could tell that it was a knee because he was in an awkward position when he took the hit because the cleat was stuck into the dirt.
Yeah, and he never went into the medical tent, so he just tried to stay loose in talking to trainers. And I saw him sort of like pointing to and shaking the right leg, so it seems like he was trying to keep that active as he was weighing whether he could go back in. So that's what I saw there. I was trying to get to him in the locker room, but then just in all the media scrums, I had to get somewhere else, and then he was gone by the time I was looking for him again.
You're convinced you're convinced Tua comes back against Arizona, right? Because making that Seattle trip tells me he is perfectly fine. He's not having any kind of setbacks or anything like that. It looks like he bounced back. And again, we're all different, dude. Some people, it can last a month or 5 months, a year. And some people, it's gone in 24 hours or 48 hours. None of us really can. That's something that they don't know. None of us can tell, but it looks to me like he's fine, dude.
Right. And so I wonder if, and I don't think we'll get this answer because this was the whole reason why they put him on IR, was to just put it out of the back of your mind and then not have to answer the question every week or every day. So, but I wonder if he is indeed already out of concussion protocol, where he stands. I know Mike McDaniel wouldn't get into stages of protocol either, but and then I also wonder, you had the bye week. See, originally I was thinking if you could get away with not putting him on IR, and then you have that bye week, if you could get him for that Indianapolis game. But I know, given his history, that the team just wanted to say, hey, it's going to be the 4 weeks. And then also you could get him to come back on a home game if it's indeed Arizona. You definitely want him getting a game under his belt, because you don't want him to then make that first one be the at Buffalo game. So home against Arizona would be the first one. If he is indeed already out of protocol or on track to be out and available by that game, then so be it. But I was always wondering if you could get away, especially having that bye week, with getting him a week early than putting him on IR for the minimum 4, if you could have had him for this upcoming Colts game in 2 weeks.
Yep. All right, what are you working on there at the Sun Sentinel, sir?
Yeah, wrapping up the game coverage here and the updates on Achan, Holland, etc. And writing about the run game, how effective it was. And then we go into the bye week, so I'll be watching McDaniel stream tomorrow because I won't be back in Miami yet from Boston. But I got some other ideas. Might detail what Patrick Paul was telling me about his one start the week before. Maybe look at the rookies. Chop Robinson. Team could use some more contributions from him too, especially now that Jalen Phillips is out. So, got some bye week ideas too.
Yeah, those guys must be so raw and so behind on their technique that they're worried about putting him out there because Mohamed Kamara doesn't even see the light of day, bro.
Yeah, I even wrote this week. I mean, I was expecting that he would be one of the guys the Dolphins need to step up, and then I mean, they just pick up Tyus Bowser from a practice squad, and immediately he's up over Kamara. So that's pretty telling there.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. And, of course, catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel and doing his thing twice a week here with the Welt Rheaume Miami Dolphins report. As always, David, thank you, sir. Have a fantastic week. We will catch up.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You got it. There you go. Welt Rheaume, folks. We are dealing with storms right now, and then we've got Milton coming. So save this number, 954-966-4646. If you have any kind of water damage, wind damage, you know that roof damage with the wind starts at 40 miles an hour. So if you start seeing little brown spots or something like that in your roof, then that could be you may have an early leak there and you want to take advantage of it. Please call Welt Rheaume. They will send their adjusters, and then they will attack the insurance company for you. So please call them, 954-966-4646. If you don't need them now, that's fine. I hope you never need them. But if some kind of property damage happens to your home, your condo, please call Welt Rheaume. Personal injury, call Welt Rheaume. Criminal defense, bankruptcy, business owner claims, commercial litigation. They can help you in so many different areas. So save that number just in case. We still have a month left in this hurricane season, and you just never know. So call Welt Rheaume or save the number, 954-966-4646.
This is the Big O Show. This is the